Very pleased to have Donna Dawson with us on Skype now from London, a psychologist. She specialises in personality behaviour and also is the grandmother of children with autism, so perfectly placed to talk to us about this, Donna. I think the first thing we should point out is that there is no one thing that we can say is a person with autism. Obviously, everyone has different needs, different personality, different behaviour. So why don't we go through some of them? I mean, part of me almost thinks that for some people who prefer structure and certainty, a lockdown could almost work for them. They're in a confined area, they know how it works, and things could even be planned out more easily for them.
Yes, I have 3 grandchildren who are on varying degrees of the autism scale. I have a 14-and-a-half-year-old who's living with me at the moment. I have an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old who are living with their mother about 2 miles away. The 6-year-old is nonverbal. He's not toilet trained. So that is a difficult problem for my daughter. I think the thing is with all 3 is that they're used to coping with some degree of social isolation anyway, so it's not a big change for them as long as they have their parent/carer with them. Their lives haven't been totally disrupted. I think what's disrupting is for the parent, because we are now in close proximity with these children every day. They're not going to their special classrooms or school, and we have a kind of full-on impact 24/7. So I think the main problem is for the people who are dealing with it, and I would consider myself in that group now. My 14-and-a-half-year-old loves to be on the computer, so to him, this is an extended holiday. My problem is getting him off the computer, getting him to do other things in the day, such as chores, homework, and to give him some structure, because this could just completely collapse into a continual holiday where he's on the computer all the time, goes to bed late, gets up late, and does no exercise. So I'm fighting this every day, trying to find strategies to cope with it.
Well, this sounds good when you describe it like that. You mentioned homework. You mentioned homework. Slash schoolwork in general at the moment. What about that? Because I'm guessing a lot of children would have extra needs which are seen to at school, and now they're not necessarily getting that, and they don't have the structure of a classroom and a set day of classes.
Well, my 14-year-old is basically ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, with a lower degree of autism, but he needs a one-on-one teacher to kind of keep him focused and help him to concentrate. Now, he doesn't have that, and I guess have now to take over that role. So it's a constant thing of reminding, of giving him instructions beforehand and repeating them continually, because they don't stay with him, and then remind him, sit him down, kind of oversee him, but not too closely, because he gets paranoid about me being on top of him, making sure he keeps on task. So that is difficult. He's not in a setting now where, more is expected of him, because he's surrounded by other children who are doing the same thing, and he has a teacher in the background with a helper as well. He doesn't have that now, so his whole structure has kind of disintegrated, and it's suddenly my task to keep him, going.
So how are you doing, Donna, and your daughter? I don't know if anyone's really asked you that.
Well, I'm trying to find the positive in this, and for me, it's some degree of company. It's somebody I have to cook for, and I have to have a routine for, so that is good for me in a way. It tests my patience, so I'm learning how to be more patient and to try and keep myself calm. And when things get too much, I just retire to another room for a while, or I go out into the garden, or I walk around the block, because I'm able to do that still. So there are ways to deal with this, but we are in this for the long haul. So I've got to keep working on him to try and change him a bit, and I have to work on myself as well. So it's a two-way process.
Yeah. Donna Dawson, you've been so candid and open with us, and we really do appreciate that. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.